All right, this is like the 5th take. Welcome back to Ballistics Gel Test without the BS. Today we're going to be shooting another 30-06 load, this time Winchester 165 grain power points. So let's go ahead and look at the box and see what the manufacturer has to say. So once again, these are 165 grain power points, 30-06, and Winchester says these are for deer, antelope, and wild boar. All right, let's flip it around and see what they got on the back. So the PowerPoint bullet, these have been around forever and ever. It's basically just a cup and core lead and copper bullet, nothing wrong with it, classic design. Let's look down here at the velocity. So muzzle velocity is billed at 2,800 feet per second, and we'll see how true that is. And here we'll look at the ammo out of the box real quick. So the brass is a little bit dingy, some dinginess on there. No dings, no dents or anything that I noticed. I went ahead and looked at a sampling of where it's crimped, and they seem to be fairly consistent right there on the cantilever. The bullets, some of them have some dinginess on there, like you can see that one on the right. No big deal. I mean, you can't really expect much more than this from just decent budget ammo. And the test rifle today is my Tikka T3X Superlight Stainless 30-06 22.4 inch barrel, and I got a Leopold VX3 HD scope on there. We'll be taking 3 shots from 100 yards, firing into 10% ballistics gel that has been calibrated to meet the FBI's ballistics testing protocol. And while ballistics gel isn't an exact proxy for big game, it does provide a repeatable medium through which to test various bullets and ammo against each other. After the shots, we'll examine bullet expansion, weight retention, penetration, and velocity. My goal is to provide hunters like you and I with the most objective information possible to help us make the best choice for our particular hunting situation. All right, let's shoot them. All right, so I came down to the blocks after that first shot, and it really flung them around a little bit. And there is the bullet. We did capture it. And I went ahead and set up the tape measure so we can get penetration depth. First, let's take a look. Real nice wound cavity in there. Moved back into the second block, and we got about 20 and a half, almost 20 and a half inches of penetration. All right, I'm gonna get that bullet out of there, flip the blocks around, and go back for shots 2 and 3. All right, we're back down at the blocks after the third shot, and look at that. We have 2 bullets in there. I pulled the first one earlier, so that means we have all 3. All right, I got the tape measure set up to measure penetration. Sorry about the shadow. It is afternoon, and there's really nothing I can do about it. If I was facing the other way, I'd be blinded. So we've got about 19 3/8 on that top one, and then the other one down here below is about 20 and a half inches of penetration. All right, let's take a look at velocity for that Winchester 165 grain Super X 30-06. That was the last shot that I fired. So the high velocity was 27.26. The low was 26.82. And the average was 2,700. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at these 165 grain Super X power points fired from a 30-06. Overall weight retention on average was 135 grains. We had 129, 140, and 136 grains respectively for each of the bullets for the average of 135, and that's an 82% weight retention. Honestly, that's not too bad for a non-bonded cup and core bullet. I wouldn't really expect a lot more than that, but I'm happy it's in the 80%. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the expansion. Overall average expansion for these bullets was 0.62 inches. It was 0.59, 0.61, and 0.67 respectively. So there's a little bit of variance there, but not a ton. It's within 0.08 of an inch from smallest to largest, and overall that is 2x expansion, which is sort of my minimum requirement for a modern hunting bullet. Let's go ahead and talk velocity on these 165 grain power points. So the average velocity was 2,700 feet per second versus a build velocity of 2,800 per the box. So we're coming in at 100 feet per second slower than what the box says, what Winchester says. The low velocity was 26.82 and the high was 27.26. Overall, we had a 44 foot per second spread from lowest to highest. That's not the tightest I've seen, but it's definitely not the largest. So overall, I'm happy with the consistency. And then as far as penetration goes, we got 20.1 inches average. And between the 3 shots, we had 20 and a half, 20 and a half again, and 19 3/8 inches of penetration. So we got very, very consistent penetration. And really, I'm happy with it. With these 165 to 180 grain bullets, I'm looking for 20 plus inches of penetration, and we did just hit that here with these Winchester PowerPoints. All right, so now my closing thoughts on these Winchester 165 grain PowerPoints from a 30-06. They had good performance. We got right at 2x expansion. We had decent velocity. It came in under the factory stated velocity, but that's the case with pretty much everything. Penetration was good. We hit that sort of 20-inch benchmark, and for a 165 grain bullet, I'm happy with that. If it was a 150, I would kind of expect it to be a little bit less than that. If it was a 180, I'd expect it to be a little bit more than that, but with a 165, it's really middle of the road. It's kind of perfect. It hit all the marks. As far as what I would use this ammo for, if my rifle particularly liked it and I was hunting, Midwestern whitetail, something like that, I think this ammo really does fill the bill. Now, I'm not sure I would hunt anything larger than a big deer with it, elk, moose, bear, stuff like that. For black bear, I'm sure it would be fine. But for bigger stuff, your elk and bigger, I'd want something that penetrates a little bit deeper and actually retains a little bit more weight. But for deer, I think this would be great. Hey, if you enjoy these videos, check out my website, masonleather.com, and get yourself some leather gear handmade by me just for you. I've been handcrafting leather gear for hunters for over a decade, and I would love to make you something. The link is in the video description. And check out my channel for more hunting ammo ballistics gel tests.